forget to head over to The Real's Instagram page today. We use the hashtag #GirlChatLive to join in on the convo because we want to hear from y'all. Now, it is Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Takeover Week at The Real, and we are so excited to have our next guest co-host here with us. She's an entertainer, fashion designer, entrepreneur, and also a princess. Give it up for Princess Love, everybody. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you guys.
How does it feel, like, the first time dancing down? You know, she was asking, like, should I dance? Should I not?
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I do the Cabbage Patch?
Yeah, you could have given us all of those moves.
Isn't that true? You guys, don't you think that when you're at the show, whether you like to dance or not, all of a sudden something gets in you and you just start to...
comes in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And started right when, right?
You were saying the body roll, so I was like, kind of trying to do that.
You did.
Yeah.
You busted out.
It was working.
And you guys, this is the first time that we got 2 Asians here at the table.
There you go.
Right here. Princess is not Filipina. Oh, you see them.
Well, I'm actually half of you and half of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh. See?
I'm like a mixture.
But you have
together.
British? I'm 10% British.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you have black?
Yeah, half black and Asian.
All right.
Blasian.
awesome.
Do
That
you guys
is-
like to be referred to as Blasian? Do you like that?
Well, I'm actually half Filipino.
Okay.
So I just say Filipino and black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Panay pride, baby.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, well, are you ready to keep it 100% live, girl chat?
That's
are you
all
ready?
all I know how to do.
Okay, so Princess, it's no secret that you and your husband, Ray J, have been trying to have a baby.
Yeah.
Love and Hip Hop has been documenting your journey, and you've even been trying some unusual treatments.
Yes.
Let's take a look, shall we?
Hi, I'm Tanya.
Hi, Tanya. This is my husband, Ray.
So, why are we here today? What's going on?
Well, he went and saw a doctor, and they said he has low sperm count. So, here we are.
Okay.
I know that Ray does not want to be here, but we've tried almost everything, and we need to explore every option we can.
Okay, so I have to ask, Princess, did the treatment work? Do you have an update for us?
We're still trying.
Okay.
You know, Ray's made, some lifestyle changes. He stopped smoking, drinking, and I feel like now he's taking it more seriously. So
Okay.
I think with that being said, he's putting it out there that that's what he wants. So I think when the time is right, it'll happen.
Absolutely.
I get that.
Trying to help her.
And for that to be a Ray J, your husband,
Yeah.
for him to give up smoking and drinking, he's serious about
That's
it.
what I was saying.
Yeah, he's
That's what I was saying.
A big statement. Well, speaking of Love and Hip Hop, our girl Jocelyn Hernandez from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta recently sat down with SiriusXM's Shade 45 for a very revealing interview. When asked about her dating life, Jocelyn claimed she is currently single and that she hasn't had sex with a man in a year and a half. The interviewers expressed disbelief, but Jocelyn stood her ground, saying she's only been intimate with women. Okay, that made more sense. So although Jocelyn is she's not technically energized, but she's still getting some, this got us thinking, how long could you go without having sex? So we asked you guys on social media how long your longest dry spell was, and here's what you guys had to say. Sammy8917 said 3 to 4 weeks. LOL. I don't need to do it every day. Once a week is good enough.
Wow.
LOL. Gen 12 Davis said 11 months and it was torture. Girl, I feel you. I don't know how you did it. And a fan whose username we can't say said 2 months and I've been married for 21 years. Help.
What?
So this, guys, this actually happens a lot more
married for
often than
20
you think. So she is married.
For 21
She's been married for
years.
21 years, but she has not had sex in 2 months.
By
Wait,
choice?
2 months?
She said help, so I'm going to assume that we can help.
Sorry, but that's a totally different girl chat topic. That's a separate sign.
Yeah.
That's a sexless
saying
marriage.
that's not doing okay.
Or he's getting it somewhere else.
Boom.
Did you hear what Princess said?
What?
Somebody's getting some.
getting some.
For sure.
Yes.
But I've actually heard about this a lot. Like people that, not just, I just don't want, like sexless marriages, like 2 months without it, which I don't understand because, if it's readily available to you, you sleeping with it in the bed, why are you not getting it? Like,
Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of, well, if you because once you have a baby, you may want to, but you just physically can't because your hoo-ha has to heal. So,
But like,
they
say 6 weeks. Not everybody wakes 6
No, well, if you have a C-section,
I can't even say it. I'm like, they can't wait 6 weeks. Sex weeks.
If you have a C-section, it's
Then I could get
mandatory.
it in.
No, when you have a C-section, you have to wait longer, honey.
Why?
I had to wait 8 to 10 weeks.
I wanted a
They
C-section.
cut 8 to 10 weeks. You guys, do you guys know?
Nah, fam.
Do you guys know what happens when you have a C-section? They cut your abs open, and then they literally take everything out, put it on the table.
But your vagina is still intact,
It
right?
is. But as we know, you gotta bump and grind, right? And this, you can't move that because it's gonna open it up.
Tam, we
And
talked
it's
about
called
this
pain.
last season. No,
You're
it's
in
called
pain.
no, it's called the starfish. You just assume the position.
Oh my God.
No, okay. I actually have friends that have had babies naturally, not through a C-section. I've actually had friends that have had babies vaginally, not through a C-section, and they did not wait the 6 weeks. And everything went fine for them.
Can we get off the babies for a minute? Because I want to talk about
Sex.
Sometimes you can be in a relationship with somebody, and baby don't have to be the reason why. It could be just that you're just turned off by that person. And when you're turned off by a person, especially with females, like, somebody famously said, you don't want it. You just don't want it. They could be next to you. Because
sometimes it's not about them. Sometimes it's about you.
But sometimes you don't want it from them. That's why I think technically, when we say sex, no sex, are we talking about without objects?
That's what I was going to say. Because
with someone else. We're not talking about,
Well, then
not yourself.
That's not.
We mean with someone else. That's
I
what
don't
we're
know.
talking about.
I'm talking about if you say no sex, meaning no pleasing anything, I could go for a week, meaning 5 days.
How long could you go, Princess? I'm not talking about
without
anything. Nothing.
Does yourself count?
No.
Nothing.
I mean,
I feel like if I'm not in a relationship, I can go for a really long time. I feel like it's like marinating and getting tighter. So I can. Yeah.
But you're not answering my question, Princess.
Can I go for a long time?
Can you go without nothing?
Yeah.
No vibrator? No. How long?
I've never used a vibrator, but I can probably
Girl,
go.
you are missing out on life. It's something, Brad.
Now we know what to give you, Flora. Thank you for being on The Real Gift. It's been great having you.
But you think you can go how long?
If I'm not in a relationship?
Nothing.
Right. As long as I'm not in a relationship.
But she hasn't ever had anything else, so it doesn't,
No, but I understand. Princess, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let me guess, but tell me if I'm right. For me, and when I was abstinent for a while because I wanted to abstain just until like I kind of figured myself out after an engagement just broke my heart. So I went for about 4.5 years.
Yeah.
But the reason was
Without nothing?
Without nothing?
Jeannie Mai.
I think I can go that
God gave you other parts of the body
So they
for
don't
a
count
reason.
then.
So you're like a born-again virgin.
Yes.
Okay.
The same thing.
In certain ways. But I do believe that for me, a man has to have, if a man is going to have sex with me, it's having sex with my mind, not my body.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I like
So
both.
I'm
Have
not
sex with my
there.
mind and my
It
body.
doesn't, I don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't need that. I need this.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So I get that.
I want both. Maybe I own that I am a very sexual person, and I enjoy.
How long can you go?
Not without doing nothing. No, it's not happening. I just feel like
How long? Answer the
I
question.
genuinely feel that every day is a good day to have an orgasm. Life is too short to not have one a day. One a day.
What about you, Tam?
Well, I mean, as you guys know, I waited a really long time to have sex. I waited until I was
but
29.
you wasn't doing nothing.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm going to say. I
You were
was
virgin?
doing some things.
Okay, that's all. Okay.
Tam, when you were a teenager, did you read the book like Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
No.
Yo, everybody needs to read that book. It's a map to the body.
Nobody knows that.
But
Nobody reads anymore?
I'm trying to understand.
Oh, my God.
I read the book.
Question.
How long can you go without nothing?
Well, this is what I'm saying, you guys. I gave you my answer. I know you can't believe it, but I had 2 C-sections. So I would say the longest. I didn't enjoy it at all. I wanted it, but I was too tired, and I was healing.
So how
it was. 8 weeks. 8
About
weeks.
8 weeks.
But, you know, I pleased my husband.
You know what?
Yeah, because the doctor said no, but the question is,
That's what I'm saying.
what did your dentist say?
Well, we will continue to tackle this subject in a later date. So, but if you find yourself without a man, hopefully you have a breakup buddy. A breakup buddy is someone who helps get you through a rough breakup, someone who cheers you up and gives you love and support.
That's
and
right.
a vibrator. And it looks like our girl Mel B has found a great one as she goes through her current divorce. And it's Heidi Klum.
Yeah.
The America's Got Talent judges and friends were spotted out in Malibu together this week, along with their kids, having a great time. Klum has also been in the news recently, having just split up with her man after 3 years. And so, ladies, do you ever have a great breakup buddy? Have you ever had a great...
Yes, I sure have. Actually, when I broke up with Rob Kardashian, my breakup buddy was his sister, Courtney, who had at the time, she had broken up with Scott for a moment. And she was awesome, you guys. She was so much fun. I was definitely more of like the sad one crying at home. And she was like, no, girl, we're going to go out. We're going to hit the clubs in Hollywood and we're going to have so much fun. Aww. And I needed that because we were both going through the same thing, but we dealt with the breakup differently.
How long did it last?
What do you mean?
Like, how long did that...
I'm like, we never got back together, so it lasted forever. But how long did us partying and going out? It was maybe like 4 months.
It'll help. It'll help
Yeah,
a
it did.
lot.
It did. I had a great time. Thank you, Courtney. It was a great time. She was great. So I think that's helpful. But you can't have two people that are both gonna be home depressed crying. That you can't. If the breakup buddy is in the same state as you, just at home crying, we're gonna need somebody to get up and actually be...
Somebody has to take the Ben & Jerry's out of your hands
exactly.
and get you to dress
And Courtney was that for me.
You know what? Y'all talk about breakup buddies. It's called that best friend that you've been ignoring, and she been waiting on you until you break up with your boyfriend.
True. To join her misery?
I love her.
Yeah.
That's...
Everybody has one of those.
Yeah.
That is so
you know
true.
you gotta pick up that phone. You ain't talked to them in about 6. Hey, girl.
That's so true.
That is.
I know what you're going through.
You told me he wasn't no good, girl. Yeah, I know. Yeah, what you been doing? He's like, yeah, that's what that is. It's not no breakup buddy. It's your best friend. And sometimes you need to just call her and just give her a shout out. So y'all know what I'm talking about.
Because they disappear when they're in a relationship.
What about you, Princess? Have you had any?
I mean, well, aside from friends, my breakup buddy usually ends up being like my next boyfriend.
Oh.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you know, I mean, honestly, I've rarely been single, so it's like I break up.
You ain't had a vibrator. You ain't been single.
No, it's like the next person I hang out with is usually like my next boyfriend I'm in a long relationship with.
But don't you like when you break up, you usually just want to vent and you want to, you know, talk bad about your ex. How does that work with talking to your new dude?
A dude who wants to date you would be the best to vent to, right?
He's like your best friend.
No.
The new guy does not want to hear about the old guy.
No.
He's going to be like, girl, you... No.
Yeah.
So he takes your mind off of it.
Yeah.
I've seen what she's talking about. Guys
So you
who
don't
want to
talk
date
about
you.
You don't talk about it at all.
No, I don't want to talk about. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
So
I just
Ray
wanted to
J
get that
was your
clear.
breakup buddy?
He was. Yeah.
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 And look, I chose right because we're married.
Yeah.
We go.
Yeah, you chose it. What do you tell you? Keep it 100?
They always say...
He's always been my friend.
Yeah, they always say the best way to get over one guy is to have another. And I actually do think that sometimes that
But
doesn't
isn't
have
that
to
a
be...
rebound?
Yeah, but the person could make you feel better.
Yes.
Take your mind off your suffering, if you know what I'm saying.
I have to say, family support for me.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, my sister, and my mom, they've always been amazing. I would usually just kind of spend the night at each of their homes, and they just fill me up with so much love that I always just
forget about it.
I forget about it and I move on.